Hi, thank you for all joining me today. I wanted to discuss the new infogram I came up with to help educate our youth as the benefits of having healthy trees. Without getting too technical, I wanted to show some of the natural benefits that healthy trees accomplish, but also what they can do for the different countries of the world. The first thing I started with were some simple graphics that kids would be sure to recognize. The top is dominated by a conifer showing the entirety of the tree. This is so the kids won't forget about the root system. I also put in some smaller pictures to help explain the captions that state some of the natural benefits that trees perform. The specific operations, the different the, specific operations are the different things that happen above and below the ground. So if you look at the first picture on the right of a tree leaf with O2 and CO2, I wanted to explain to them how, or that trees produce oxygen and utilize the CO2. And then above and below ground, trees are a massive sink for carbon storage. And then above ground, the surface, soil, and water cooling. That is that, like for instance, trees will cool streams to make it habitable for fish, and then also the habitat and food for animals. And then below ground, the massive root systems. They filter out soil and water and of pollutants, and then combat soil erosion. So here we see some other small pictures. The next part was where I tried to use some fun little graphics to show how much timber different countries produce and consume. This was an attempt to show how important trees are to all the people of the world. Kids get that so much is made out of wood, like houses, tables, and chairs, but this is an attempt to give them some scale. So if we look at our chart here, we see the United States with all these giant, or with these stumps, and I have here showing that one stump is equal to 10, 10 million cubic meters of wood. And then I have the showing how many cubic meters the U.S. produces. And this was in 2011. That was the most current data I could find. And I would show them that this number is equal to 17.5 square miles and about 3.5 feet deep. So that can give kids a better idea of how much wood that actually is. And the same goes for the consumers. And obviously the United States is on top. And that's they consume about 22.4 square miles at about 3.5 feet deep. Now that is a big amount of wood. And that was just in 2011. As populations rise, that number is going to go up, and that is true for all the countries. Okay, now the last two charts that I put on here, they are at the bottom, an attempt to show kids how important trees will be to our economies in the future, and where our lumber now or in the future, and where we get our lumber now, and possibly where we will get it in the future. So this big graph up here, this is showing global domestic product, and then by the year 2030, it's predicting that we'll be at about 100 trillion US dollars for the entire world economy. Now, and then this graph right here is showing where we get our wood right now, and that's showing about 36% in primary forests, only 3% productive forest plantation. So I'm predicting that in the future, the plantation setting is going to be a much better utilized um, format for growth. And then finally, I ended the infographic with a closing statement that I'll read now. With the growing predicted population and growing predicted global gross domestic product, the production of timber will be a vital part of the world economy. With wood being one of the truly sustainable resources, the strain on our natural forests will be too great to keep up with the demand. It is for this reason plantation forests must be utilized. However, because biodiversity is so important for our natural ecosystems, it is important that a natural forest is not replaced by a plantation setting. In addition to our economy, there is nothing else that can produce oxygen, store carbon, clean water, soil, and the air like trees. Trees cool the surface of the earth and cool water for fish populations. Their extensive root systems not only absorb water and elements for the tree, but they also hold precious topsoil in place. This is why trees can save the world. If there are any concerns or perhaps anything that should be added, please feel free to contact me by any means convenient with any suggestions. Thank you for your time.